to explain how did you already get to Module 1251. Some of you have taken, I see binders, some of you are carrying binders at the Residence Inn from the 1050 series of the curriculum. I'd just like to spend a few moments walking you through the curriculum architecture that exists and the courses therein that are available to you to help you with your job performance. The curriculum is broken down into three major series, the 1000 series, 2000, and 3000 series. The 1000 series is intended to be taken within the first 6 months on the job for product planners, either new to the company or new to the job. You could have come from someplace else in the company. It's a very open menu curriculum. You and your boss sit down and decide what modules are appropriate for you given your different job tasks and functions that you perform. Within this, these are copies of this. You can stick these in the binder here. First of all, there is the 1000 item is a videotape that is about 11 minutes long. We will look at it on the very last day of this course. We don't have time this morning to look at that and talk this through regarding the curriculum and what it is and what its intent is. The first grouping of modules here are on this online system. It's called the IDS system. It's owned and operated by your document development organization, DDO. It is simply a non-interactive computer delivery system. It's a page-turning system, but it's the best way to get this information as up-to-date as possible without having to worry about thousands of pages of paper out there that are out of date and still being handed out. So that's why it's available. If you want printouts of it, they're reluctantly printing out copies of the materials and sending them out as requested. But it is accessible, and you do have the instructions now. Overview of AT&T, the corporate entity. What is it and what is its function in the overall picture here? The various entities within AT&T then, the end user organization. Who are they? What do they do for a living? What are their products, services, customers, markets, all those good kinds of things. Very short module, it says quarter of an hour. That's the assumption of how long it'll take you to read through this. Most of these things are about 15, 20 pages equivalent to actually get through the 20 lines per screen. AT&T Bell Laboratories, who are they? Of course, a lot of reorganization has happened just recently, and so this module is probably not quite up to date. These modules are all being updated 3 times a year, so the cycle will come around soon. Network systems, including the microelectronics group that now reports into network systems, AT&T Technology Systems, and AT&T International. These are the major, often called lines of business. Sometimes transmission or switching or media or OS is called a line of business too. It is very confusing. We will talk about the confusing terminology that you're going to have to deal with to be successful in the product management function. Beyond that, we get into a description of what we call the product management functional performance model. We will look at that a little bit later in this course. We have a approximately 100 pages, this is not 78 pages, product management novel, a fictitious 1 year in the life of, I believe it's 3 product planners entering the job, and actually 2 product planners and their boss. Trying to give people a picture of all the different kinds of things that happen within the product management function. May not match what your job realities are, but overall in your business unit, transmission, switching, OS, media, etc., or the new cellular, or even the customer operations group, which is your service group, trying to define the kinds of things that the organization is trying to manage, and how the product planner levels are not receiving the kind of information that they need. It's just the nature of the beast. You're going through a lot of changes in the organization here. This is the downside of all of that. The next series of modules here, this first one here, actually there's only going to be 1101. This is going to be piloted in March. It's called Internal and External Influences on the Product Management Function. It gets into things such as the U.S. laws that should guide your behavior, the policies and procedures of network system, and the company instructions of AT&T that should guide your behaviors and how to do your job and how to stay out of trouble. It gets into the standard groups. It gets into the regulatory environment. So it's a source for you to identify those kinds of do's and don'ts, and mostly the don'ts, of how to operate as a product planner. There is only one module, the 1101. The others, we didn't find that there were that many differences to warrant producing separate modules for those. These will, then there's the customers and markets for each of the 4 major business units. When they began this study on this curriculum architecture, they did not address the service organization, the done organization, or customer operations. It's got several different names. We're basically the same group. Again, those are online. Additionally, online, a thumbnail sketch of the various support organizations around the company that you need to be aware of. What is market planning? Of course, that's changed with the recent reorganization. Market operations, my client, Maddie, the group that owns the product management training organization. They own the media, the MPO group, media, I forget what that stands for right now. Marketing Communications Group, the strategic events organization is up there, market operations. So that's one of the larger modules. It describes all those sub-functional groups within market operations that are there to support you in your job performance. Various network systems, financial organizations, and where are they, and where can you get some financial guidance and help, etc. Various Bell Labs organizations, various manufacturing organizations, the sales and sales operations organizations. Systems, network systems engineering, installation, corporate project management, which has changed now to corporate product realization, the distribution channel planning and management, the legal organization, corporate education and training, the OSTC for those people in the OS organization, document management organization, and DDO. Little thumbnail sketches here to tell you who these people are, what they do for a living, where are they, and a name and a phone number so that if you need further information, you can contact them. The MMC organization and MPPC organization, these are the materials handling organizations. Other product line management groups, that's what the old name used to be, product line management instead of product management. The PEC groups, which are the product engineering control centers for the various business units, information research centers, Springfield operations, contract and warranty. Again, and this is not the complete list. There's about 8 new modules here that are going to be developed in the next probably 6 months. The pricing organization, other things like that, to identify who these folks are and what they're supposed to be doing with product management in particular, not just what they do in general, but what's the nature of their relationship with product management. Several other courses here that get into the telecommunications network. These are courses that exist and were in existence from CET, except for this last one. It does not exist currently. These kinds of modules are going to be developed over the next 2 years. The various product and product component overviews, those kinds of things. That leads us to this 8-day course. So you've been through all those other courses already, correct? All right. I thought I saw smiles of recognition on all your faces. Now, typically, people have not been through those in what we consider to be the prerequisites for this particular course. It shouldn't be a major problem. But they are there for your reference when you get back on the job.